Hey guys, Dr. Sean here. We're popping into our mailbag segment today, and this one's not really a Facebook question or a mailbag as much as it was my stop at the gas station this morning. I'm sitting there, I pull in, I'm going to pay for my gas and all this stuff, grab a quick cup of coffee on the way to work, and I saw this young lady. She had her pill counter out, and she probably had 50 pills scattered across the countertop. And, you know, curiosity's got the cat, and I thought, what the heck, I'll ask her, you know, what are you doing with all that stuff? She goes, oh, well, this is Advil, and this is Tylenol, and this is aspirin, and she goes, and I'm like, you got 3 painkillers that you take daily? Oh, yeah, all the time. And I go, what's wrong? And she said, well, I've got migraine headaches. Shocking, right? We're like, hey, I know this one. So, and then she's got a couple other things in there scattered amongst them that are, you know, for pain and discomfort and sleepiness. And I'm like, well, how long have you had them for? And she goes, well, I've had them for years. And she goes, I get them daily. And I said, okay. And she goes, usually I end up going to the hospital and getting a shot of Toradol. She goes, now they've given me a prescription for Toradol. And so I just asked her nicely. I said, okay. I go, well, is it? She goes, well, that really helps a lot. And I go, so then why are you taking the 3 painkillers on the counter here? Well, it doesn't always work, you know, and I have to take those first. And I go, so when these don't work, then what do you do? And she goes, well, then I have to take the prescription Toradol. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, but that's really helped a lot. And I'm like, but you get your headaches every day still? She goes, yeah, every day. I'm like, so then how much has it really helped? Guys, this is what it's all about, right? This is a everyday conversation you have with someone. This is what it truly means, all right? So I asked her nicely. I go, well, where are your headaches at? And she didn't even ask what I do. This is the best part. I go, well, where are your headaches at? And she goes, well, they tend to start across the front here and they go into my temples. And I said, is it on both sides? And she said, yeah, it's usually on both sides. And I go, well, then it's not a migraine. She goes, well, and I said, it's not a migraine, it's a headache. Remember what we said in our migraine video, if you look back in our mailbag earlier, we talked about migraines. Migraines are one side only, temporal only. Hers are both. Hers start in the front and go to the sides. So we know, ooh, we're probably looking at a blood sugar headache, most likely, or a sinus involvement, or both. It doesn't mean they're not debilitating. It doesn't mean they're not incredibly painful and very, very, very uncomfortable. Okay, they can be. But the term we have to be careful with, right? Because we generically throw that term around. That's like saying, oh, Mrs. Smith, you have cancer. But you have eczema, and they call it cancer. It's not the same thing. It's different. You just treat it differently. So in her case, we're going through this, and I'm just discussing with her very nicely. Going through and kind of getting a little history and this and that, and learning a little bit about her. And sure enough, we're looking at a blood sugar problem. She's been battling migraines now for years. She goes to the hospital all the time to get shots. So much so they now gave her a prescription. And I just asked her very nicely before I was leaving. I said, ma'am, I go, you're taking 3 over-the-counter medications for pain. You have a prescription for Toradol for pain. You're taking all of this stuff almost daily. What does that tell you about your headaches? So when you're like, oh, well, they're better. Are they? You got 4 medications going in trying to control them, and you have them daily. I don't know. So I said, if you ever need any help, let me know. Paid for my coffee and headed out the door. Guys, this is real. It's every day. It's people every day that don't even know any better. It's not her fault. She doesn't know any better. She doesn't know that there are answers out there somewhere. She doesn't know that there are options beyond what she's doing. When I walk in and I'm getting ready to pay for my gas and I see 50 pills or more scattered out across the countertop and she put them in a little pill counter, she probably takes 15 a day. To be miserable? I get it if, man, I pop this, woo, my day's great. But if every single day I get up, I know I'm in trouble, every day I hurt, God, it's not worth it. There's something you can do, right? What do? Examine, examine, examine. We start with that 24-hour UA. Find where the stress is. Remove the stress. Nourish the body. And guess what? Headaches go away. They're problem ones. They're tricky ones. I know it. I've dealt with them in my career. But you can change people's lives. That's revolutionizing healthcare. I'm Dr. Sean.